What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Mikey McNuggets, Earl the Pearl, Anthony Antonelli joining you as always on Behind the Glass. Earl, you were working from home today to get your car fixed. I have not asked you because I'm a bad friend. Did it work out how you had anticipated and hoped? Do you have a car for tomorrow?
I do got a car for tomorrow. I'm back in studio.
Let's go. Big time.
You know, I'm back in studio where I typically am for Behind the Glass. Made some changes to try to make a makeshift set.
I do like the little tree. I like the little color.
First thing I noticed when I was called in.
Yeah, so a little something right there. But yeah, I'm back rolling. This is always something with these cars, bro.
You have had car issues through the wazoo since I've known you. It seems like you fix one thing and they find something else. So I'm glad.
You know how it go.
I'm glad you got wheels. Anthony, was your trip home from work better than your trip into work this morning?
Actually, no. The highway was moving slow. It was weird. Like, it didn't take me 40 minutes, but it was still a oddly long trip home today.
I see a comment that said Njoku showed his face on Instagram.
Oh, I'll go take a look. I haven't seen that.
That's true. I gotta look at that. Where did he post? Who said that? Damian Frederick? Where'd you see that?
There's a video on his story, but it's blocking out his face.
That's emoji. Inu sent me that. Yes, that's his brother.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Where do you see it?
First post, scroll over one. Oh,
goodness gracious.
Oh, that is.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it looks like he's healing though if you scroll through.
Yeah, he's doing better. That's
good. Oh my god.
Well, hey, shout out Damian Frederick. I gotta tweet this out real quick.
Yeah, I don't do injuries well. That one. Oh, I see, bro. Don't look, but too late. Looked. Yeah. Hey, prayers out to him, man. Though I'm glad he was feeling good enough to play. Glad he's recovering. That's a scary thing to happen.
That is crazy.
This
is terrible podcasting right now, but I gotta.
Yeah, no. Do you think I've had a lot of like scary and just random injuries throughout my life? Thankfully, I've never gotten burned real bad. I don't know. I've had open heart surgery. I don't know if I could handle a burn. That's terrifying. Fire scares me.
Yeah, that is absurd. That if you guys haven't seen, I'm tweeting it out right now. It is that dude's a warrior.
Yeah, to play with that,
absolutely
off,
a warrior. Yeah. Versus Baltimore. Okay, well, let's get into it. Sorry for the slow start. That was kudos. Who was that? Damian Frederick. Damian, shout out for alerting us to that. That is something we had not seen. He posted it 20 minutes ago. Hey, before we get into the show today, I do want to say one thing real quick. We haven't addressed it on the show. We're not going to make a whole spiel here, something long, but real quick. What's happening over in the Middle East right now with Israel and Hamas? It's frankly disgusting. I don't care if your race, religion, your politics, whatever. The murder, kidnapping, raping of innocent people is wrong on every level, and it's hard to put into context what we do as a distraction compared to the real atrocities happening in the world right now. So our prayers are with the people out there who are trying to deal with the absolute chaos. It's a war right now. It's flat out war, and people are dying by the minute. And frankly, we as a society, as humanity, need to be better than that. It's disgusting. Our prayers are with everyone out there. And we hope this comes to an end soon because, like I said, the murdering, the raping, the innocent people of any, like I said, race, religion. I really don't care what the circumstances are. It's wrong on every level. And, we're here to talk sports. We're here to provide a little entertainment, but we are a microcosm of what's happening in the world. And it's a tough time, man. I got a friend over in Tel Aviv. You guys know I'm half Jewish. So it hits home a little harder, but it's disgusting on every level from every angle you look at. There's no way to spin it into a justifiable reason. So, like I said, we're going to send our prayers, send positive vibes and thoughts over to the Middle East and the people who need it most right now as we dive into some Browns talk. Are you guys ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, Deshaun Watson didn't practice today, guys.
Neither did I.
Stefanski officially
no big
announced
deal.
Jay Walker as QB2. He said it's the best move for this team moving forward, which is a bit of a surprise considering he was on the practice squad until, well, still he's on the practice squad right now. He has not technically been elevated from the practice squad. Earl, I'll start with you. We'll go to Anthony. We put it on the poll today. We had a 77% answer of PJ Walker giving the Browns a better chance to beat the 49ers than DTR. What's your take on take out the results, whether you think PJ Walker gives them a better chance or not? What's your take on how we've got to this situation right now from where we were 2 weeks ago on Behind the Glass, getting ready for Baltimore, assuming Deshaun Watson would be the quarterback? I'm a long way.
Man, it makes me shake my head. I think that it's shown that we the same old Browns in certain aspects to me. I think the lack of communication, the miscommunication, the improper handling of this entire situation has been put on full display for everybody to see, to laugh at, and to point to and look at us in the same light that they've always looked at us as. I've said this several times off the record. I guess I'll finally say it on the record. At certain points, at certain aspects of this team right now, that makes me feel like the Browns shouldn't be playing on Fox or CBS. They should be playing their games on Sunday on VH1. You know, with the confessionals out there, because this thing looks like a soap opera. You know, work from home and watch the show. And I think Jay was hitting on a lot of points that I personally feel. You know, the Browns knew the situation with Deshaun Watson mid fourth quarter. You know, probably sooner than that when the injury happened. He played up until the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter of that Titans game. And I just feel like that, you know, it should have been a proper plan in place as far as getting a backup quarterback ready, as far as how you was going to address the media. Just the entire handling of this situation was wrong. And it seems like every time they step out there now, man, they continue to put their foot in their ass. Like it just seems like every time they step out there now and they say anything, it's a contradiction of something that was said the last time. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, results aside with DTR last week, I didn't feel like he was put in the best situation to have success. And I didn't think he played that well. But, you know, to kind of like shake the kid's confidence even more than probably what is already shaken by snatching the number 2 quarterback job away from him after one bad performance. Like, I don't think that reads well. You know, as Tyvis alluded to earlier, this is the dude who's been with them, you know, all year round. And I'm pretty sure even against like a juggernaut like the San Francisco 49ers, he wanted the opportunity to go out there and redeem himself. And as Jay alluded to earlier, you know, you go face a defense like that, no matter the result, you can only walk away with lessons to learn and get better your next time out. And so I'm disappointed that, you know, if Deshaun Watson don't play, that he won't get the opportunity. I mean, as far as PJ Walker giving us the best opportunity to win, and do I understand that? Yeah, I do. He's the veteran quarterback. You know, he has more NFL snaps under his belt. He understands the speed of the game a little bit better than DTR does. But still, like in the grand scheme of things, I just think this whole situation from the Tennessee game to now has been handled poorly. And it's overly disappointing, y'all, because, you know, we hang a hat on one. We have an Ivy League front office. We got a front office that's so smart and so intelligent. And it just seemed like they were just so unaware of how to go about handling this entire situation properly. And it seems like more that they try to rectify, they kind of like stepping on their own shoes more.
And
yeah, I mean, I echo a lot of what Earl says, but at some point too, you'd think after everything that went down with Baker and how it all went down, especially with a shoulder injury on your franchise quarterback, you'd think some lessons would be learned in how to handle things like this. And it just feels like from the top down, they didn't know how to communicate about it. They didn't know what to tell. They didn't know what to tell Deshaun to say. They didn't know what to tell Stefanski to say. Andrew Berry had to come in for cleanup. You know, you have even DPJ being like today, I don't know who's throwing me the ball. I guess we'll find out. It just feels all very discombobulated, I guess. Like it doesn't make sense to how I would imagine an organization should run itself. And after so long, you would imagine they'd learn some lessons on how to deal with the situation.
What's funny is, like, you look at a team like New England, and Bill Belichick his motto, not only in the media himself, but to his team, is say nothing at all. Literally, if you say a player from the opposing team, we're going to fine you. And we as media hate that because we don't have anything then to talk about, discuss, go off of, right? There's a reason they do that. And I'm not saying there's a one-size-fits-all solution for how a team should handle situations like this, but the Browns would have been significantly better off never saying anything at all about the injury other than reporting him on the injury list as questionable day to day. The reality is, if the team had not opened their mouth, if Deshaun didn't say he was playing, if Stefanski didn't say it was his decision not to play, if Barry didn't say he's going to play against San Francisco, and he was just listed as day-to-day on the week injury report on Wednesday, it'd be like 7 other starting quarterbacks in the league right now. There are 7 starting quarterbacks in the league that are listed as day-to-day right now. Do you hear any of this stuff going on anywhere else in the league?
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't even know Herbert was questionable until I looked at my fantasy team.
Herbert broke his finger.
Yeah, like
listen, quarterbacks get hurt. There are dudes like Myles Garrett rests every Wednesday. That's just part of practice. Like, guys are listed as day-to-day when they deal with rather normal injuries. And I'm not saying Watson's is a rather normal. I'm just saying it is not weird for a quarterback to be listed day-to-day and questionable on Wednesday. What's weird is how they've handled everything else about the situation. And I say we as media, we always say, I wish Stefanski wasn't so boring. Give us something. Well, a lot of times the reason they don't give us anything is they don't know what to say to appease everybody at once. I'm not sure what Stefanski could have said that would have made Deshaun Watson happy, other than as a team decision, which is what it should have been from the get-go. That's what Bill Belichick would have said. It was a team decision. It was not in Watson's best interest to play. We went with DTR. How they handled the whole situation has been a joke. Throwing DTR out there last week against Baltimore with no preparation, they didn't have a choice, was a joke. To not know who the QB2 is until today and say a guy on the practice squad is now ready to step over the guy you just traded, a veteran who's looked pretty good in Arizona for, like, come on, guys. Like, the Browns have to be better than that. But it's not all bad. You know why? Because after this week, they go on a little bit of a run here with a much easier schedule. And assuming Deshaun Watson's shoulder isn't torn way worse than we've been led on to believe, there is a lot of sunlight after the dark gloom and doom.
You did this. I think it was 2 weeks ago behind the glass. You made your statement, and then you immediately went to the week after the week that we currently in. And like, I got to stay in the moment, of where we are with the situation. And I just look at the entire situation. Like I said last week, I don't feel like nobody read the room well at all. Like, you know what you're dealing with when it comes to Deshaun Watson. Anybody that has an issue with Deshaun Watson, good, bad, or indifferent, especially the people who just flat out don't like him, they're going to look for any low-hanging fruit and use that as ammunition. And the fact that Kevin Stefanski went out there and said what he said, like, it raises a question. You said, they're trying to out there appease everybody, but should they be? Should they really be worried about appeasing anybody versus just worrying about
appease is Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, like not even him. Just do the right thing that you think is best for the organization. All this calculated steps of what to say and what not to say, like it shouldn't even got to this point. And I remember on our show over the summer, I can't remember who alluded to it, but somebody talked about the fact that they wish that Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski was more transparent with the fans, that they actually gave more insight to what's going on. And every press conference we've seen from them during the offseason, for the most part, man, we kind of got more. We've gotten more from them this offseason to this season than we've gotten before. And then immediately that after something goes wrong, like, y'all shell-shocked and y'all back in this little bubble of not wanting to say nothing. Like, we get media release emails of who's speaking to the media, and we seen who was not on that list this week. And it's like everything that you're doing at this point, man, you're trying to rectify a situation that you handled poorly last week. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's cool to take corrective action because that's what you're supposed to do in life when something ain't going right. But it's like, man, it just continues to show, like, in certain aspects, it's like it's the same team. It's just a different year. Like, why do we always have to be the team that's – and maybe I have it under a microscope because I follow the Cleveland Browns. You know what I mean? But it just seems like we're the team with all this extra drama. Like, it ain't even got nothing to do with the injuries or something that's going on the football field. Injuries happen, things happen on the football field, but just like the extra storylines that continue to come with our season year after year, it's like unnecessary baggage.
It happens in every franchise. You're obviously more attuned to the ones you follow the closest.
Right.
Like I couldn't tell you the extracurricular stories going on in Arizona right now, but I'm sure the Cardinals have their own. I'm sure the Rams, the Giants have their own. The Jets certainly have their own. The Jets have already. There's reports out of the Jets today that the defense is ready to have a mutiny if the offense can't turn it around. The Broncos are possibly having a report saying that they're close to tearing the whole team down if it doesn't turn around. So every team has their own distractions, but I want to throw out a little bit of a conspiracy idea to you guys. Tell me, first off, let me preface this. I don't 100% believe this. I'm just saying I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility. Can I throw something at you guys?
Go ahead.
Yep,
You
I've
just
been
want to trigger
looking forward
people
to this.
to trigger people.
I'm not.
Go
No.
ahead.
I
Yes, you will.
think.
Yes, you are.
Well, whatever. Maybe I'm trying to trigger people. I do think there's a chance.
He
this
woke
could be
up and
real.
chose violence.
Hey,
Deshaun
I'm not
Watson,
bad at it.
tough son of a you know what.
Yeah.
Dude played through a collapsed lung and a torn groin. I'm not questioning Deshaun Watson's toughness one bit. But I do know Deshaun Watson did not like what Kevin Stefanski said following the game against Baltimore when he put it on Deshaun Watson saying it was Deshaun's choice not to play. Well, then we heard from Andrew Berry. Deshaun's going to be ready for 49ers. We saw how badly Baltimore went. We saw how the bye went. Is there any chance in the world Deshaun Watson is looking at this 49ers defense and going, I don't feel 100%. I ain't going to play in this game to screw Kevin Stefanski here. Make him look like the idiot, and then have everyone coming back crawling on me and saying, see, this offense without Watson is an absolute atrocity. They need Deshaun to put him back in a little bit more of a favorable light in Cleveland because we know there's a part of the fan base that was quite mad at Deshaun for not playing despite the fact he was medically cleared because of the quarterback we had before Deshaun Watson. You think there's any possible grievance or chance of that, Earl, Anthony?
You could go first.
I mean, I guess. I still don't think Stefanski tried throwing him under the bus. I think when we did our Behind the Glass that week when it happened, I wasn't in that camp, and I'm still really not. I'm trying to really stay positive about this season. San Francisco this week, I had marked as a loss for a while, so I'm not worried about it. But like when it comes to this specific situation, I want to believe that they are grown adults trying to handle things behind closed doors, and it was just a simple miscommunication.
Even if it was a mistake, listen, Bull sometimes says some stuff on the air that I don't think he's trying to be necessarily malicious with, but still gets us pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like, you know how we handle that. We move on to the next day and the show goes on and the show's still good. Like, I would hope the Browns could do the same, right?
I feel like there's a lot of things we can hope the Browns don't necessarily
to me, is there a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility for everything. Do I think that's happening? No. And maybe this is just me being an optimist, but I find it hard to believe that Deshaun Watson will compromise his own integrity, just to kind of like make Kevin Stefanski look bad. Because if he did that, then now you're just as bad as Kevin Stefanski. And in Cleveland, we didn't seen that story before. It was called Hugh Jackson versus Todd Haley. So,
yeah.
I'm like, for me, like, I understand the situation, is messed up. And like, like Ann said, it's something that you possibly need to, that you should be able to move on for it. But like, I'm not for nobody, like being willing to like be that petty and compromise their own integrity or even show the lack of leadership or like I'm gonna just flat out say it like, man, that's a sucker move. Like, you ain't supposed to be afraid of nobody. Go out there and play. I don't care if they the 49ers or not. It's the NFL. Any given Sunday, anybody can be beat. But like, I don't strike him as that type of person. I hope he's not that type of person because that wouldn't be the type of quarterback I would want leading my team. So like, no, I hope ain't none of that going on. You know what I mean? Because at that point, you just as bad as the coach.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not saying I think it's true. I was just saying I think there's a chance. We got super chat.
Yeah, we do.
Please tell McNuggets that the drama that happens here doesn't happen in every city. I've lived in 6 NFL cities. Trust me, it don't. I mean, listen, the Giants are dealing with an offensive tackle telling dudes to go flip burgers. The Jets are dealing with
that's the Giants though. That's New York. Like that.
Well, I'm just saying every city.
That's prone. That's a bad example though. That's like that's prone to happen.
Denver having reports leaking out that half the offense wants out and they already hate their head coach. They just not. I mean, listen, there's always, when I was at A&M, it was always the A&M stuff. Like A&M has more drama and whatever. Like, you're always more attuned to the stuff that happens in your hometown. In my year and a half in Cleveland, have I seen a hell of a lot of stuff drama-wise that's come out of the Browns? Yeah. But let's not pretend like this is the only place it happens. It happens all across the league.
I ain't saying it happen. It don't happen everywhere, man. But this has been a consistent thing since 1999 with this organization in this city.
That's what happens when you lose.
We're not that far removed from Johnny football. Remember that. Like the wounds are still fresh.
Cleveland is not drama-free by any means. And the fact that we're arguing who has the most drama is a bad thing. And maybe that shows DJ Bot, what was his name? DJ Brobot. Maybe that's proving his point. But, like, it happens everywhere.
Ty Irwin said it doesn't happen with teams that win.
Facts.
And it's funny because the team that I think about, and I'm gonna holler at Darren, later today, but like he covers the Kansas City Chiefs. He covers a team that wins Super Bowls. That's a winning culture. And I wonder how situations happen. I wonder how situations are handled when adversity comes up in those organizations. But like, I think winning is tied to culture, not necessarily just roster. Like, and I'll say that again. For me, I think winning is tied to culture, not just your roster. Like, I think that there's a culture that has to be in place, and the culture to me has to do with like the energy that's in, the discipline and energy and things like that. It's not just the roster you put together. It's not just the scheme that you scheme up. There's a certain type of attitude and energy that's exerted. Like when you talk about creating a culture that's a winning culture and a stable culture. Like winning cultures and stable cultures, they overcome adversity and they keep the train moving forward. And it just seems like, man, we get stagnant sometimes.
I mean, look at two teams in the division, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Like, are those rosters top to bottom, top 5, 6, 7 rosters in football? I think you'd be crazy to make that case. And somehow these teams keep finding ways to win games they're not supposed to. And it doesn't seem like under the Stefanski era, and Earl, Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, how many games have the Browns won where, whether it's from the get-go and or how the game kind of progressed, you left the game saying, how the hell did the Browns pull that out? On the opposite of like Pittsburgh in week 2, we're asking the question, how the hell did the Browns lose that game? How many times has it been the opposite?
That's what I'm saying.
The playoff game. I didn't think they were going to win the playoff game in Pittsburgh, and they won that.
So one?
That's off the top of my head. Yeah.
Or can you think of any others?
The last time the Broncos came through, they didn't win, but they took it to overtime, and even that was impressive. Like when Peyton was still on the Broncos back in 2015, like I'd have to go that far back.
So we got two dudes from Cleveland, and we have two examples they could think of going back to 202015. So
and they didn't even win the second one.
And the answer's not a lot.
Like for me, man, like I was a kid, but I was in the trenches with the Browns since '99. Like, you know what I mean? So it to me is just, I'm looking at the same situation year after year. Like, you ever heard the old school saying, like, man, the game stay the change. Only thing that changes the players. The players change, the game stay the same.
Yep.
Like that's what it feels like with the Cleveland Browns. Like the only thing that's changed is the players. Like that's literally how it's been. It just seemed like it's always been one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. And I'm gonna say we because I'm including myself, we tend to make excuses or try to give reasoning to the things that's going on. And it's like, as fans, we don't even realize, but we contribute to the toxic culture. Like I heard on the radio the other day, somebody was like, this is year 4 for Kevin Stefanski. 2020, the Browns make the playoffs. They win the playoff game. He win Coach of the Year. And then the next year, I guess, Baker's hurt. Then the year after that, it's the whole Deshaun Watson saga. And then this year, Deshaun Watson is hurt. And it's like, man, so what? People get hurt in the NFL every year. At some point, man, it can't always be like because somebody like got hurt. Like we talk about injuries, like it's not week 6 in the NFL season, and 90% of the league is playing with some type of injury anyway. So, like, what are we doing here? For real?
The Bills just had 2 defensive starters going to IR last week. It happens to every team in the league. No one starts the season with the exact same team they finished with. The injuries the Browns have sustained so far this season obviously suck. Losing Nick Chubb, probably your best player on the team, him or Myles Garrett, one of the two. You haven't had a starting quarterback for 25% of the season, could be up to 40% depending on Watson's status this week. By the way, we have the title Watson shoulder injury update. He did not practice today.
That's the update.
He did not practice today. He did not speak to the media today. He is typically scheduled and speaks with the media on Wednesday. He did not speak. DTR, DPJ, Anthony Walker all spoke. They all said they did not know who would be the quarterback. Tom Pelissero told us it's a right shoulder rotator cuff contusion. Deshaun Watson, we will see if he's out there tomorrow. Officially listed as questionable, but as it stands of 7:25 on Wednesday night, it does not appear Deshaun Watson is at the level of health you would need him to be to feel comfortable against San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I'm not even mad at him being hurt. Like, if you can't play, you can't play.
Yeah.
The frustration just comes from how this entire situation was handled. Like, how did we get to the point to where we trade Josh Dobbs for a 5th-round pick, basically banking on DTR as the backup quarterback? And again, I go back to the structure of the organization. He's a rookie. He's a late-round pick. You know that there's a chance that he can go out there and not play good. But I don't feel like you should just give up on him after one bad start. And it's just like, just the whole process, man, of how we got from the Tennessee win to now. It's kind of getting under my skin because, like, I've been a fan longer than I've been covering this as a quote unquote media member. And it's like, man, it's just the same old story, every single year. I'm just tired of the extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of like the unnecessary frustrations behind the same stuff. And we know how our fans can get, man. Some fans is rowdy, some fans is crazy, but Browns fans is like loyal, passionate, and they also intelligent. It ain't like that they're not aware of how sports operate and they don't have a good sports IQ. Like, I know people who feel like, just because you do this job that you know more than other people. But like, man, these people in these chat, these people that cover the Browns, man, they ain't stupid. They see what's going on. And a lot of them been watching it longer than we've been alive. So it's like, at what point, man, do you look at it and say, okay, this team got a damn good roster, right? You got great coaches in every single level of the coaching staff, but yet it just seemed to be the same issues that can contribute to you winning or losing that continue to happen with this organization, like regime after regime, year after year. Like, damn.
And this is the first time since I've known Earl that you could see like the legitimate frustration setting in.
Yeah.
And it hurts me to see Earl like this.
I mean,
it hurts me to see Earl like this.
I'm an optimist, like, by nature. It ain't even got nothing to do with the the position that we're in. I'm an eternal optimist, and I really have faith that going into year 4, this is what it is. And again, until we coming off a bye week, like, hell ain't freezing over, all ain't lost. I get all that. I'm just saying that I'm paying attention and I'm reading the room to where it looked like it's just the same little stuff. And I ain't talking about nothing on the field. I'm talking about stuff off the field, things that we'd have been told that we can't even talk about on air. And it's just like, man, you say it happened everywhere and it might happen everywhere, but damn, I'm tired of it happening here in Cleveland. Like,
I should have phrased it better. It happens and gets more magnified by teams that lose. Winning hides everything.
Yeah.
If you win, players who are upset shut their mouth because they're winning. Coaches look smarter. There's a lot less negatives to pick out. If you win, it covers everything. When you lose, everything gets magnified to the umpteenth level. Perfect example. Let's not pretend the Browns' offensive line played like absolute dog crap against Tennessee. But Deshaun Watson threw for damn near 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. They win 27-3. We barely talk about the offensive line. They lose to Baltimore. Quarterback, coach, who you can blame whoever you want. We have dissected that offensive line 15 different ways to Sunday since Baltimore, and they actually graded out and technically played better against the Ravens than they did against Tennessee. So winning cures all. Anthony, I have a question for you.
Yes.
We got to get Earl in better spirits, man. So let's go sunshine and roses real quick. Give the fans what they want. Drink a little Kool-Aid. Take a sip of the rainbow everything's perfect juice. Tell Earl why the Browns have a chance to not just compete with San Francisco on Sunday, but to kick the 49ers' ass and take home a dub.
I mean, it's the NFL. Any team can win on any given day. Any team can lose on any given day. All you need is the right recipe. Do I fully believe in our chef and Kevin Stefanski? It's waning, but there's always a chance. He has more of a chance this week to prepare for Deshaun not to be there. I get it. He's going up against a crazy defense, but our defense isn't bad either. Brock Purdy's about to see a defense he's about to face a defense that he's usually on the side of. So he could still crack. We're waiting for that downfall game on Purdy. It could happen this week. I'm keeping my hopes up for this game because we've watched the Browns beat teams they never had any business beating, maybe once or twice, like we said earlier. So it's possible. It can always happen. It's the NFL, man.
All right, let me tell you why the Browns have a chance to beat San Francisco on Sunday.
Now Mike's going to give you the numbers and the real answer.
No.
62.3% of this divided by.
There's not a lot of real numbers that back up my case here. I did do a little research. How about the fact that Jim Schwartz is 5-0 in his career against Kyle Shanahan head-to-head? 2-0 as a head coach in Detroit when Shanahan was the offensive coordinator in Washington. 3-0 as a defensive coordinator in Tennessee and Philadelphia against Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. As the head coach of the Niners, Shanahan's has never beat Jim Schwartz. This might be the best Browns defense of the last 30, 45 years. This might be the most talented defense Jim Schwartz has ever coached up. If anybody has a track record to slow down what Kyle Shanahan does offensively, it is Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith. It is the guys like Dalvin Tomlinson. I do believe the Browns secondary is good enough to handle these receivers one-on-one. I'll take my chances. San Francisco's got some absolute weapons. But I'll take my chance with Martin Emerson trying to guard Brandon Ayuk. I'll take my chance with Denzel Ward on Deebo Samuel. I'll take my chances with either Grant Delpit, Rodney McLeod, Juan Thornhill, having to guard George Kittle, who only seems to catch touchdowns. He's had 15 catches and 5 touchdowns this year, 3 touchdowns, whatever. It's like 20% catch touchdown rate. And that means the Browns can put extra guys in the box. If you're going to lose to San Francisco, it has to be because Brock Purdy beats you. You cannot let, and I repeat, you cannot let them run the ball because, A, that controls the clock. It wears you down, their offensive line. It doesn't grade high in PFF, but those dudes do a really good job creating holes. And obviously, Christian McCaffrey's a savage. You have to make Brock Purdy beat you. So if I am Jim Schwartz, and I tried to ask this on the show today, and we got completely derailed by Jay. But if I am Jim Schwartz, I'm putting 8, 9 guys in the box. I'm playing press man coverage on the outside. I'm telling Denzel, I'm telling Martin Emerson, this game's on you. You have to lock up because I can't afford to leave someone back. I need 9 guys in the box to stop the run. That is how I think the 49ers can go down on Sunday. The Browns end up victorious. And if Mother Nature plays its role, it's supposed to be a real shitty day on Sunday here in Cleveland. It's supposed to be a real shitty day. We're talking rain. We're talking wind. We're talking ugly. That benefits any backup quarterback because it'll force Kevin Stefanski to run the ball. It'll force this offensive line to have am I allowed to say this? To grow a effing sack. Man up and take on the responsibility that you have been assigned to help this Cleveland Browns offense move the ball downfield. I don't think it's easy. I wouldn't necessarily put my house on it, and by house I mean my 1-bedroom apartment. It's not worth that much, but it is what it is. But if the Browns are going to beat the 49ers, it's because Jim Schwartz completely out-schemes Kyle Shanahan, and I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
The beautiful thing about life, the beautiful thing about sports, the beautiful thing about anything that kind of like warrants real success is it don't come easy. And if it was hard for you to get it done, that means it was absolutely worth it. And a tough win against a damn good San Francisco 49ers team, it tells me that this team measures up against teams like that. So I look at this as somewhat of a measuring stick game. But yeah, no pain, no gain, man. No guts, no glory. Like if I'm Kevin Stefanski, don't know if Kevin Stefanski is going to do this, but get the team together. We're going to watch any given Sunday. That's what this is. Any given Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. If you wanted some positive takes from me, I'm frustrated, man, but I'm still riding with my boys, man. That's what you're supposed to do. I get frustrated with my kids. I ain't finna stop loving them the same. Like same thing with my team. I love the Browns. I'm pissed. I still love y'all dudes, man. But you can go out there, you know, any team can get got any given week. Like that's just the bottom line of how football works. And to me, got them damn white helmets out there again, okay? So instead of looking at it like a bad omen, go out there and do it for Nick Chubb 2.0. These are the helmets and jerseys Nick Chubb had on when he went down for the season. So if you want to right that wrong, if you want to make right what happened wrong on that field, you go out there on your home field in those jerseys and you go out there and you do what you got to do to pull out a win. I think that the Browns do have a great defense. I think the defense is dominant. I still think that it's probably the best overall defense in the NFL, regardless of how bad they played against the Baltimore Ravens. And it was just one of them games. But, Jim Shorts ain't no sucker. You're talking about somebody having a sack. Like Jim Shorts, he about that life. Like, he for real. Like, he step into you man-to-man, toe-to-toe. And I'm pretty sure he's excited for the challenge to go up against Kyle Shanahan's offense. He old school. He read the tea leaves. He hear the noise. He probably like, man, I got something for that ass. Just wait till Sunday. And hopefully he do. And if he do, we good. We straight. But, it's going to be a tall task. But, it is what it is. Both teams got to go out there and play football. That's just the bottom line. And if we can come out victorious in any way, shape, form, or fashion, great. You know what I'm saying? And if they lose a close game and we was really in that game, great. Just don't go out there. Don't look like a team that had 2 weeks to prepare and you look like you know what. Because if that happened, y'all going to be mad on that post-game show. Y'all going to be mad.
You know what's crazy, Earl? And I want to bring up a physicality thing you said, so make sure I get back to that. But this is the worst bye week in the history of the world because you have 2 weeks to prepare, and Kevin Stefanski doesn't know what game plan to draw up because he's not sure who's going to be his quarterback. Like, essentially negates other than being quote unquote healthier, but you have 2 weeks to prepare for a defense without knowing who your captain's going to be. Like, I feel like that kind of negates the advantage of the bye week here, and the Browns aren't healthy. Like, you might not have Batonio this game. You might not have Njoku. Myles Garrett's going to play. He wasn't in the walking boot. You might not have Pochich. So I feel like even though they have a bye and 2 weeks to prepare, it's really like 3, 4, 5 days to prepare. 3 days, really, because you don't know if Watson's going to play or not. Earl, you said this before the show today, and we're going to talk about it later in the week, but this game, take the quarterback out of the equation. Watson, DTR, Walker, take that out of the equation. You said this is kind of a measuring stick, man check game for the Browns.
Yeah.
Playing a team that's as physical as anybody. And I think that's part of the equation that we, even on UCSS so far, have missed this week. And I think everyone looking at this game has missed. Yeah, the quarterback plays a giant role, but these are the top 2 defenses in football. This is 1 and 2. And Deshaun Watson don't play defense. Like, this defense knows to show up. If Jerome Ford's going to be the guy the Browns need to carry the running back room, he's got to show up. And someone outside of Amari Cooper has to damn show up, especially if Njoku can't play. So I do think what you said, and I'll let you add on to this, is 1,000 million trillion % right. This is a gut check for the entire Browns organization on Sunday to figure out who they really are.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game. Like, even knowing what I knew coming into this game about Deshaun Watson's status being up in the air, or, the possibilities of PJ Walker starting, or even DTR being back there, like, I was still excited for this game because, I look at this team and it's a damn good roster and it has a damn good defense, and the defensive leader, like, he's kind of like injected the necessary energy and attitude on that side of the ball to where they're the unit that's carrying this entire team. And, I just feel like when I'm looking at, this game, I want to see if this team is as good as I think they are. Despite being 2-2, I'm not even pressed on the Browns being 2-2. If you looked at the AFC right now, man, everybody is beating up on everybody. And these teams look so different week to week. So it's whatever. The Browns is right there in that group. I'm just concerned. Not even concerned. I just want to see if this Cleveland Browns team that I expect them to be this year, if they're that type of team. And if you are that type of team, you got to go out there and you got to compete with teams that's on your level. And so we're going to find out if we're on the same level of the San Francisco 49ers or not, and I want to see that, period.
And we're going to find out on Sunday pretty quickly because I feel like this is one of those games that football's a 60-minute contest. We're going to find out in the first 5 minutes which Browns team showed up to play. This is a Browns team that's going to be willing to fight for 60 minutes with a team that's expected to win? Or is this a Browns team that's going to roll over and say, we're on to Indy? Like this
You
was a
know,
loss. This was a lost cause
you
from the
know what's
start.
crazy? And a lot of people in the chat are about to feel what I'm about to say because it's a lot of people in chat, and the age varies up and down, man. Throughout my life and just time watching the Browns, every time that the talk is this way throughout the week, you know, especially like when it's adversity surrounding our team and you going up against a damn good team, the talk in the media is just like the talk yesterday, how it's been all week this week and how it always was and how it was last week. And every time that's the case, you know what the Browns do? They go out there and beat that team that nobody expected them to beat. They go out there and play like a team that's riding on all cylinders, that all moving parts is moving in the right direction, that everything is good. Every time situations like this arise, they go out there and they find a way to win. And like the other part of it to me, Brock Purdy is 10-0 as a starter, right? Shout out to Brock Purdy. Like that dude is dope. But like, man, you can't win them all. You know what I mean? And the more people start talking about that record as it get up there, like you think Jim Shorts don't know he's 10-0 as a starter? You think he ain't told his defense that this dude is 10-0 as a starter? Like you think they not aware of what's going on? Listen, man, y'all better read the temperature in the room and go out there and just ball. Like Browns fans is frustrated, and every Browns fan got a right to be frustrated. Whether you frustrated at Deshaun Watson, Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, DTR for how he played, man, people like put their blood, sweat, and tears into this team in this city, Mike. Like, and I promise you,
And
like,
money. And
like
money.
wait, I ain't even got to the like, man, like, damn the money part, damn the money part, man, because like what I'm learning about money, like, it's something that just we recycle throughout society that eventually recycles back to us. But it's literally like the blood, sweat, and tears and the passion, dude. You know how much stuff people go through on a day to day, and all they want to do is like watch their Browns on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And like be able to take their mind off of whatever that's frustrating them in their real life. Sports is entertainment, right? We watch this stuff to be entertained. There is nothing entertaining about a team that you've been emotionally invested in since you was a kid, going out there and getting their ass whooped. Don't nobody want to see that. And so like when people be like pissed at fans being overly frustrated, I don't. I've been doing this 3 years. I've been a fan for 35 years. Like, I get it. I understand. You know what I mean? So, like, go off. Go crazy. You got every right to. And that's just like, and you talk about the people who spend money. Now, I used to have season tickets, and the Browns raised the price of season tickets every single year. You know what I mean? They raise the price of concession all the time. And, like, food so-so. Don't even get me talking on how long you got to stand in line and miss the game. Like, I done already told you about the parking and what goes into the tailgating. And so, like, when you talk about the financial side of things, like, and then you've had players on this team in the past to tell people they need to be quiet in the stadium or they shouldn't be booing. Who the hell is you to tell me how I'm supposed to act? And I done paid my hard-earned money. Like, no, like, you know, we react like the way that we react in a moment, as we should. You know, does it swing left to right, week to week? Yeah, but hey, such is life.
And what do you think?
Oh man. It's tough. You know, we say every team has their issues, but and I'm sure there are other teams. How many teams have lost? And Jason and I have kind of talked about this off air. How many teams have lost generation of fans? Like, I'm 26. I could name 2 people off the top of my head that are genuine Browns fans that I grew up with. And
real quick, you're from Parma.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm from
this
15
is
minutes
right
outside of the
Cleveland.
city. You know, I grew up here. I went to school on Ridge Road here in Parma. I went to high school over on Pleasant Valley. Like, I went to college in Berea. So it's like I've been around the Browns my whole life. I'm not even like a whole diehard fan for them. They're just my city's team, you know? Like, I have Broncos stuff hanging up in my room. Crucify me all that you want for that. But like, growing up, just seeing just the lack in, it's almost the lack of effort that the organization puts out. And that's why I think this whole situation too, with how they're handling Deshaun, disappoints me. And they haven't learned anything from Baker's situation. It's just, you want them to do good, because if you're a part of the city and you love the city like I do, and I know like you guys do, you really love seeing the city happy. And when the city is happy, it's like there's nothing that beats it, for real. I was bartending that year that we went to the playoffs, and it was insane. I have never seen anybody so happy. I was out until 4 a.m. when we won the CAF championship. This city parties like there is no tomorrow, and it's fantastic. And yeah, I cannot blame anybody for being frustrated at this point. Also, I think Earl's frozen. I just wanted to mention that.
No, I think he's just typing.
No,
he's frozen. All right.
I think he's 100% frozen. But look, it's not that we don't want to love the Browns. It's just that they are really hard, and that's the toxic organization that we talk about. That's what a toxic relationship is. You want everything, and then they just give you nothing usually. But I still think they're going to give you something this year. Like we're 2-2. There is no reason to hang it up this year.
That's
all
the crazy
down,
part, man.
Even
if they lose this week, even if that's the case, they're 2-3 with 12 games to play in an AFC that has a giant conglomerate of 2-2, 3-2, 2-3 teams. They're right in the mix, regardless of the result of this game. And if they have to sit Deshaun to get healthy, well, so be it. You have a healthy Deshaun against Indy and Seattle, who you're going to need him for, and Los Angeles, and a bunch of winnable games later in the season. We talked about the second the schedule came out. This first 4 to 6 game stretch was by far the toughest part of the schedule. We knew that. They could be right now very easily 4-0. Well, I'll give them 3-1 because there's no excuse for that Pittsburgh game. Yeah. However, I don't think anyone looked at San Francisco before the season started and said, "Oh, that's an easy dub." Like no one did. So now the circumstances are even harder considering the uncertainty at quarterback. But even without him, we just watched the Chicago Bears blow out the Commanders after not winning a game in 14 months or 14 tries. They were 0-14 before the Commanders. We see crazy upsets on the regular in the NFL. No one in the NFL sucks. As much as we like to berate and belittle and laugh at guys for subpar performances, like the reality is none of these guys suck. Tanking doesn't exist in the NFL because on any given Sunday, any team can beat anybody. It's part of what makes the NFL so beautiful. It's part of what makes football such a unique sport. Upsets happen every single week. Every single week.
Yeah. No.
Earl, you good? You unfrozen? We got Earl back.
Earl's back?
Beautiful. We got Earl back. In about 5 minutes, we will answer any viewer questions that you guys may or may not have. If you guys haven't checked it out already, go to David and Joe Goo's Instagram page. He posted a picture. It's the second picture on a slide of his most recent post from his facial burn injuries. I will tell you to do so and proceed with caution. It is pretty gruesome, but that dude's a freaking warrior. And if he can play with all that, football players are warriors. Like what they go through even on a daily basis, some of the injuries, like I stubbed my toe and I feel like I'm on the IL for 10 days. And this dude just burned his face off essentially and played. What a warrior. Earl, we will wrap up the Browns portion of this with a question. And we're going to ask this to the panel on Friday. So I'm going to ask you this now. Maybe the best individual matchup in the entire NFL this week.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Cleveland, San Francisco. I'm talking the entire NFL. Is Myles Garrett versus Trent Williams. That is the best of the best on the offensive line, the best of the best on the defensive line. Take out chips, take out tight end help, whatever it is. I'm not asking, is Myles going to have 5 sacks? If you had to give the advantage to one side in that individual matchup, what side would you give it to?
I'm giving it to Myles Garrett all day long, man. Myles Garrett is younger, stronger, faster. Dude got like a million moves in his repertoire that he can just go to. And so for me, like, it's definitely Myles Garrett. I think Myles Garrett honestly gets up for matchups like this. If you look throughout the years, some of the best left tackles that has came through here has gave him high praise on his technique, how he prepares, and how he gets out there and get busy. Even if it don't show up in the stat sheet all the time, and it's the pressure win rate that we don't see in the box stats that people rave about. And Trent Williams know what's up, man. He know what time it is. 95, go do your thing.
He did a tremendous job on Micah Parsons last week, but Micah Parsons is not Myles Garrett quite yet. Very different kinds of pass rushers. We had Lomas Brown on today, and I should have asked him this question. I didn't, but I can't wait to see these two go at it. We talk about Myles Garrett. He has the fastest It's according to Next Gen Stats. He generates pressures in 2.12 seconds this season. So you average all his pressures, how long it took, 2.12. That is the fastest single pressure time in the NFL. Trent Williams has a 100% PFF pass block efficiency rate this season. We are talking literally the two best at what they respectively do going against each other. And you don't see that very often. I hope, and I'll ask you this first and we'll go to Earl next. We saw Myles Garrett do the basketball move against the Bengals. We saw him go in motion against the Titans. He's had 2 weeks to prepare, guys. What do you think he pulls out against San Francisco, especially if he has to do it against Trent Williams? Think he's got one more trick up his sleeve, one more move in his bag he hasn't pulled out yet?
Oh, I'm sure he's got plenty. You don't get to that level and you don't have just a pile of them, but I want to see him like do some. I don't know if I want to see him do another basketball move, but I want to see some fancy footwork as he walks up to the line, almost in motion again. Maybe some soccer steps. The guy's an athletic freak. He could do anything.
I think the dude gonna drop back at linebacker or drop back like he like a sub nickel or something. He gonna do something stupid and crazy like that off the line of scrimmage, and it's gonna throw the offense for a loop. They probably gonna be scrambling to cause a timeout. Like, I ain't seen this on film. Why is this dude playing? Why is he playing next to Greg Newsome in the slot? What's going on here?
We did see Fred Warner cover Brandon Cooks like 60 yards downfield against Dallas on Sunday. So maybe they use him in more of a weird line. Could he spy McCaffrey in a way? Like he's that good. He might be the only defensive line in football I could even ask that for. I wouldn't necessarily say that's the best utilization of him, but that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what I want to see?
What's
And
that?
he's done this before. Trent Williams weighs like 325 pounds. Trent Williams is massive.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the Euro step of all Euro steps. Like all Euro steps on Trent Williams. Get all his weight on his outside foot with an outside pass rush move. Miles knows to come a little Euro step inside. Lay Purdy on his ass. And I just saw what DeAndre Black put in the chat. Catch a touchdown. Yeah, that's actually – how about a pick six? How about Purdy's first pick of the season into Myles Garrett hands for a pick six? Dog pound goes absolutely bonkers. And that's quite the way to start off Sunday. Earl, any last thoughts on the Browns, on the 49ers before we get to some viewer questions here?
Nah, I ain't got no last thoughts. I mean, for me, it's just, go out there, man, play Cleveland Browns football and just come out, just go out there and play hard, come away with a victory. Don't nobody expect you to go out there and win that game. Don't nobody in the media, not too many people in Cleveland. Like, there is a few fans who are like, no, the hell with that. The Browns going to win. But for the most part, don't nobody expect you to win. So just go out there and ball. Show up to play, man. Play with some heart and just try to do your best to pull out a victory. I ain't really got no fancy analysis for it. Like, any given Sunday, just go up there and play football. Both y'all got to show up. Might as well both play. Like, gut check time, man to man. See who come out victorious. Like, just don't go out there, man, and play like no suckers. Because if you do, I'm telling y'all right now, like, the chat hate when we kind of like get on them in the moment. Y'all go out there and y'all play like some suckers. I'm coming off the leash, dude.
Yeah. And
I don't have anything else other to say than for the fan. Just keep your head up, guys. Like 2-2, like we said. Like, we don't expect them to win this one, but still go out and support as best you can, no matter where you're watching from. I saw somebody in the chat earlier said that they were watching in Vegas at Browns Backers Bar.
shout out to that guy.
Yeah, go crazy. Like, enjoy the moment and enjoy the journey.
All right, my last thought. We'll get to the couple of viewer questions I see. No game is over till the final whistle's blown. And I think Earl kind of said this in a way that is really eloquent. I don't necessarily believe in moral victories. I do believe in demoralizing defeats. And if you come out and lay a damn egg, we reach DEFCON 0 here in Cleveland. Seriously. And you guys think we're you say, oh, media is negative. Well, that means it'll be a whole month since we've seen them do anything positive on the field if they come out and lay an egg. Yeah. You come out and you fight to the last whistle. If PJ Walker shows a little bit of life, if Jerome Ford gets going, if this defense holds its own, you don't even have to win. But there's a lot of positives you can take out of this game because it's a gut check on both sides of the field, offensively, defensively, and hell, special teams too. Go make a play, DPJ. How about you catch a punt and move it forward? Just one. D-Hop continued to kick well. This game is not over, though. And I do expect this team to come out with a little bit of, you don't believe in me? All right, F you mentality. And that could lead to some pretty promising results. It's not going to be easy. This 49ers team's legit. But I think anyone saying it's a foregone conclusion they're going to get smacked is writing them off too early. There's too many veterans on this team. Too many veterans on this team to go down without a fight. And that starts on the defensive side of the ball. I just can't imagine a situation where with 2 weeks to prepare, Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett get punked. It happened against Baltimore. They didn't know it was coming. They didn't know who their quarterback was till the morning of. Sure. But 2 weeks to prepare, no excuses, Earl.
Yeah, just go get the dub, man. Just go out there and play hard. That'll be all right. Like I really believe Jim Schwartz is gonna have his defense ready to play. If I hope Deshaun Watson plays. If he don't play, I hope Kevin Stefanski has PJ Walker as ready as he possibly can to go out there and lead this offense. We'll just see what happens. So, I mean, that's that on that. And shout out to the people in Phoenix, Arizona.
I saw Seattle in there too.
Yeah, I know a lot of people in Phoenix, man. A lot of people in Phoenix. So, like, shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in Seattle, man. Shout out to people that's in the United States, outside of the United States watching us. Like, appreciate all the love, all the support. Y'all is like, y'all keep me personally motivated to, like, just put my best foot forward. So, like, the support y'all do for Behind the Glass, for the barbershop, for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, like, just we appreciate all of it for real. Like,
Soul
I really mean that. So
shout out to Soul. Hey, next time we should have asked this earlier, but I do want to know where everyone is watching from. That actually would be really cool to see. So next time we do Behind the Glass, and let's make a note to make sure we ask where everyone's tuning in from. I see
we got 3 minutes, man. Ask them. Why are we going through the questions? Just ask
we
them.
got time. We don't have that many questions.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. We'll shout out as many of these as we can because we really do appreciate every single one of the people in here tuning in, watching us on a Wednesday night. I've seen everything from Seoul, Korea to Seattle, and you keep rolling those through. Cleveland Heights, Miami,
Minnesota in the joint.
I see one question real quick about potential trades. We're going to do a segment on this next week, but let me give you a little teaser here. Earl, it's a yes or no question. Ant, you're next. Yes or no? Are you happy with the Browns running back room? Yes or no?
No.
Could I interest you in Saquon Barkley for a 5th-round pick?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm working on something. Saquon, expiring contract. The Giants are not going to re-sign him. They're about to blow their entire team up. I think you get him for a 5th-round pick right now. I'm dead serious. So I think they lose to Buffalo on Sunday Night Football again, and they start looking to trade any and everybody they can get anything for. So we have a bunch of more trades in the trade docket. Chris, we're going to do a segment on Tuesday, I believe. Next question comes from Red Right 8. Oh, questioner, what's up?
No, before I shout out to everybody dropping that because we got time. Keep reading the questions real quick. I'm going out Euclid. Somebody dropped something for me to eat other than Wingstop. I done ate Wingstop the last 3 shows, the last 3 Wednesdays. We did a show. I don't want Wingstop, man. Somebody suggest something for me to eat, man. Call an order ahead for me, and I'm.
You saw someone at Wingstop last week that was watching, right?
That was 2 weeks ago. Like that was 2 weeks ago. But I'm just saying, like, I don't want Wingstop again. So like,
I'm gonna pull out some
suggestions to eat, man.
Gonna pull out the Tyvis. Do you go get the crispy chick, or is it too late?
I don't know if I want the crispy chick. I'm going out Euclid though. See if I get the crispy chick by the time I get to the crib.
Yeah, that's tough.
My food will be cold, and like me, I need my food like really, really hot. You know what I'm saying? So
next question comes from Red Right 88. Who can bench the most? McNuggets, Anthony, or Earl? Well, Anthony had open heart surgery.
Dumb question.
I don't know. Well,
It is Mike by a mile.
I don't know. Earl's strong. I don't know what my 1 rep max is 225. I got 225.
That's a 1 rep max.
Yeah.
You probably up there than me. I'm like at 200 even.
My best I've ever done is 135.
You want to tell your open heart surgery story real quick? I don't think people know that about you.
I mean, I mentioned it on the show, but yeah, sure. So I was born with in total 4 VSD heart murmurs, which is basically just my heart didn't fully form when I was born. Most of the time that heals on its own. I had one singular one around my aortic valve that just couldn't do it. So when I was 7 years old, they went in and took care of it for me. And I've been fine ever since. Full cleared to play all sports, played soccer through high school. Never really bothered me. I just kind of got a weird looking scar on my chest. And the pectoral muscles, since they were so destroyed when I was so young, they'll just never get there. But hey, it is what it is.
I'm going to read some of these real quick from where people are tuning in from. We appreciate you guys. Seriously, and it's not just lip service. It is not. We really do appreciate it. It goes everywhere from Michael Proud in South Korea to Adam Sheets in Arizona to Cleveland Heights, SRZ in Cleveland Heights, John in Miami, Joe in Malibu. Yo, we got to get a UCSS on the road. Some of these are some vacation.
Man, I seen Connecticut. I seen
Greg
Connecticut
Brown
in
in
here.
Minnesota,
really wanna
DeAndre
see
Black
Miami.
in Youngstown, M. Bynes from Kentucky, South Korea, Los Angeles from Ryan, North Royalton, Slavic Village from Collins in North Royalton, Creative Juice in Slavic Village, Connecticut. We got Kareem in Connecticut, Jeff in Nashville, Matt, K-Dog Handyman. Is that Matt? It's Massilian, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Hey, somebody told me to go get some gas station chicken. Listen, I ain't had no gas station food since I was 20 years old, leaving downtown Cleveland after the club drunk at like 2:30 in the morning. That's the last time I had. That's the last time I had gas station food, and I was sitting there eating it with my eyes closed. And at the time, I thought it was the best thing in the world. So I woke up the next day, my stomach was like, "No, my boy." So like, ain't no way, ain't no way. Black box fix, that might be the mood. I think that's in Cleveland Heights, if I'm mistaken. Bit by Creole Kitchen.
You gotta get us back review tomorrow. Just a couple more. We got X Factor in Georgia, Alyssa in Toledo, Carrie in Wheeling, West Virginia, Devontae in Cleveland, Lawrence in Cleveland, John in Miami again. We got Canton in the house. We got two from Seattle. How about Jack and Terrell, both in Seattle? They don't know each other. We gotta have a UCSS Seattle friendship here.
Shout out to my homegirl Shell, who sent the super chat in too. She in Atlanta. She from Cleveland.
What up, Michelle? What up?
She was like, Earl actually know what he's talking about.
I think she commented earlier. I don't know sports. I'm just here for Earl. Well, hey, I don't care why you're here. We appreciate you being here one way or another. Hey, we always say this. We'll wrap up in a sec, but you can't please everybody. There are gonna be people who like you. There are gonna be people who don't like you. I've told you guys. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna get the death threat. Hold on one sec. Earl, you got to filibuster for a second. I haven't shown you all this yet. Hold on.
He got a death threat?
Yeah, so he's told the story before, but yeah, I'm lucky actually. I haven't gotten any serious hate, but I think that's just because I'm not a super opinionated sports person like the rest of you guys. But yeah, Mike has apparently gotten a death threat before, so he's going to find it. He framed it. I've
gotten many death threats, but
you've gotten many. This is the first one.
This is the first death threat I ever got. Ironically, it's from someone on Twitter.
Let's make you full screen.
You make me full screen. Yeah. Ironically, this is from @Coach Mantits. It's a picture of Mike Pettin. Ironically, it's from 2014. I'm not sure. I'll just read it. @Mike Lucas TV. I hope you get castrated with a rusty razor blade, you effing pipsqueak.
Oh my God.
He was mad at something I said. This is way before I came to Cleveland. And then my buddy said, calm down. I could feel your big manly anger through the keyboard, you friggin' loser. And then he responded, how about I tongue F your a-hole instead? So that's what happens. Like, people on the internet really do this stuff. And I thought this was so cool. My first death threat. I was like, I finally made it. So I framed it.
Hey, man, you got to take the bad with the good. I ain't got no death threats. I done had a couple of racial comments come my way. I done had some other stuff come my way, which is, I feel like, every day that I'm trying to grow as a man, God be testing me in areas like, but I tell my grandmother all the time, he know his child. He definitely know his son. Like, so I'm just glad it's on the internet, because me and Tyvis the same way. I kind of got the pull-up-itis.
It's all
pull-up-itis is real.
It's all part of it. Like I said, people are going to like you. People aren't going to like you, but we appreciate you tuning in. Skip Bayless, for better or worse, is one of the most watched people on the internet. I would say his approval rating is what? A 15?
Maybe.
A 20?
Something, yeah.
People love to disagree with him. So, that's part of what happens is if you don't make people feel a certain type of way, you ain't doing your job.
Facts.
I've been called worse in Call of Duty lobbies. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, I done been called some crazy stuff in the Call of Duty.
I feel like Call of Duty. What do you? Is it a chat? What do you call the Call of Duty?
So
game
man, our man behind the glass always go off the rails. Listen, real quick. So like me and my homeboys used to play Call of Duty all the time, and like everybody know, like you got the tag, right? You got the whole tag, and we all got the 216 clan tag. And so like we ran across some dudes like with the 330, and like if you know anything about that 330, man, that Akron Canton like versus Cleveland, it get real. So like they was in the chat, they was talking crazy, like real crazy, man. A whole squad, 30 plus kills on that ass, real quick.
That's
real quick.
Yeah,
making me go home and want to play some Call of Duty tonight, man.
If you ever are out playing video games and you see a UCSS next to somebody named Cup, that's me, just so you know. I got a UTSS tag on, trying to advertise the show when I'm playing video games.
Yeah, man.
We played Call of Duty when I was in high school, Modern Warfare 2, after basketball practice. Like it was
Classic.
a religious experience. We'd get off practice, we'd all go home, eat dinner, and then play Call of Duty from like 7 to 10 every night as a team.
Yeah.
I haven't really played it since Modern Warfare 2, but those were fun, man.
It hasn't gotten any better. I'll tell you that. I don't play it anymore, but last time I played it, didn't get any better.
Yo, we should. Earl, do you have Xbox or PS5?
It doesn't matter. You can play across.
You can
we can play
whatever.
crossplay, but for the record, I got PS5. I'd never in my life buy an Xbox.
Xbox is so much better than PS5.
Says who? Win and win. How?
The controller. Honestly, it's just a controller.
You can't beat this.
It's just a controller. I don't like the PlayStation controller.
Y'all crazy.
It's true.
Listen, Ant's no offense, Ant. I say this with love, but like, you're the resident gamer out of all of us.
No, it's true. That's my hobby. Like that is what I do to unwind. Like I got a nice little PC here, and an Xbox, and a Nintendo Switch, and a PS4 over there that I've collected over the years.
Yeah, tell them y'all team PlayStation, baby, man. If it ain't Sony, you phony. Listen,
here's my thing. Xbox got me locked in.
You just said that, Earl.
Xbox got me locked in because I like the achievements. That's it.
Bro, Michael, you said, I see one more question from Michael. What's your question?
Yeah,
we got you. What's up?
I love my PS4.
PlayStation 5. Listen, I haven't played PlayStation 5.
I love my PS4. Xbox Series X, man, is unmatched. That thing is so nice.
Dude, it's the controller. I just don't like the PlayStation controller.
Mike, have you tried?
We can definitely crossplay though.
Yeah,
I get busy.
Well,
I get busy.
I'll listen for content. I will buy you think I could expense Call of Duty to Tegna?
Oh my god, it's the new one's $70. I'm like, oh.
All right. Well, either way, I'll buy whatever Call of Duty you guys have.
Man, wait. He said it's 70. You know how much 2K costs? You know how much it costs to build your my player?
I don't want to know.
It costs damn near $400 to build your my player.
It's a joke. Let's actually squad up and play Call of Duty one night. I'll buy Call of Duty. I haven't played in 10 years, give or take.
We can do that. We can't use it for content though.
We'll put it up behind the glass.
Yeah, we can do it behind the glass. Yeah, we can do it behind the glass.
I used to stream on Twitch. I know how that works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's figure that out. I
see the right clan tag, or you called me the right name in the chat. I'm telling you, 50 kills on you real quick. real quick. 3-3-0s be pulling up. Them 5-1-3s, them Cincinnati boys, they be pulling up.
All right, before we leave, real quick. Earl, I need you to guess, and I'm going to guess too, what kind of Call of Duty player Ant was, because I think he was definitely the sniper who didn't move the entire game.
Ant was either the sniper on the roof, or he had this little dark cave to where he was like squat real low and he was just camping out. Like as soon as somebody like, you know how like when you come back in like the same 3 or 4 areas when you're on that side of the map. So Ant in your area when you revive and he just popping you right away.
Oh yeah, he would.
At the Call of Duty, he the Call of Duty. I can't stand.
A camper.
First off,
it's a camper.
Yeah, Ant was definitely a camper.
I was a search and destroy player, and I knew how to quick scope real good. Like, Halo taught me how to quick scope. I just ported that straight over because I'm born and raised on Halo, my guy. Like
I didn't like.
I don't want to hear that.
Halo.
Oh yeah, Halo's my jam. But all right.
All right. Well, that wraps up.
Take us out.
Glass. We appreciate you guys. Next time, I actually really like asking people where they're from. We should ask a question in the chat every time we do a show and get as many answers in. That's something we're gonna add to the rundown from now on. We'll start thinking of questions to get as much of you guys answers. We appreciate everyone from around the world, and that feels pretty damn cool to say. From around the world for tuning in with us. We appreciate you guys more than you know. We will see y'all tomorrow on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, 11 o'clock. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will see y'all next week. Peace.